guys, what's going on? I wanted to check out our IFVG algo that we're working on right now and trying to get to pass funded accounts and get payouts automatically by just, the bot trading. So this is our 2-minute we've been running, so we're doing IFVGs. Right, so we have our method, which is essentially a sweep of liquidity and then IFVG, right? And then some other things that I won't go over right at this moment because we haven't published it or anything yet. So right now we're working on this. What we're doing is we're optimizing every month and trying to run brand new funded accounts and get them to pass and get payouts. So it's something pretty cool that we're working on right now. It'd be really awesome if it ended up working out how I believe it can. So some of these trades, let's go through. So like this one that we ran this month, it unfortunately failed the funded account because of this large drawdown. Another problem with some of these funded accounts is that their max loss on a day is a large problem for an algo because you might hit like negative 1,000, you might hit like negative 1,200 in drawdown and then be done for the day, like it doesn't trade anymore that day, but you might hit a $2,000 winner later that day and not be able to take it because you got max lost on the account, unfortunately. So how we're optimizing though from this perspective is that we're trying to keep drawdown below 2,000. So this one, unfortunately, even though the last 4 Aprils, over the last 4 years, every month during April it did not hit 2,000 drawdown. It did end up hitting 2,000 this April in drawdown. So again, this one did fail the funded account that we were running it on, unfortunately. But we're going to keep pursuing it because it's something that I do think can work out really well. So like just looking at some of these trades, like we want to implement SMT too. So that's what we're working on right now to limit trades and also take higher probability setups, because what I've seen from IFVG is that when SMT is valid, then the IFVGs end up playing out a lot better. So, we're waiting for a sweep of a important high that we're determining based on what we coded in, and we're looking for IFVG after that break happens. It's kind of like Dodgy's model. We're working kind of closely with Dodgy. So this trade, essentially, you sweep a high or sweep a low, then you get an IFVG, you break the FVG, the bullish FVG, so now it becomes an IFVG, you take a short, and then you'd be targeting a short-term low and another important low that we would be looking for a reversal at, right? So that's what we're using to take these trades based off of. There's some other things, I'm not going to throw it all out there yet, especially that we haven't published this yet. With the take profits and all that, but like stop loss wise, it's pretty simple. Stop loss I could give you is just a close above the FVG, because then you're saying, oh well, after this FVG broke, we're supposed to be bearish. We're changing state delivery, we're supposed to be bearish. But if it pops back above that FVG, then it's technically incorrect, and then we would probably end up sweeping this high. So we might as well stop out after the break of this FVG. The one thing I don't like about this model is that there's no hard stop. So let's say, for example, this closed below, but the next candle popped up and it closed all the way up here. You're losing a lot of money, right? Especially if you're using the high of this FVG, or roughly this high of this FVG, as like a stop loss in your head. Let's say you want to risk $500, you're risking like, let's say 600 if it closed right here. A close up here would be like negative 1,000. So that's the only problem with something like this, is if it like broke this high, which it has done, it can literally sweep this high and then still close down here, and then this could end up playing out. So that's one bad thing I don't necessarily love about it. I've seen trades where it will fill this entire FVG back in, wick all the way up here. You might be way past the high of the FVG, but then it closes below and then it dumps. So in that case, this would play out a lot better by having that stop loss above the FVG and close above it. But again, it can just literally come close up here and kill your position. That's the only thing I don't like about this model. But other than that, I really do like this model. It's very, very powerful with NASDAQ futures, so NQ. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the better models for NQ trading, especially like low time frame, 1, 2, 3 minute, even 30-second. We've traded on it. You could see like it's a very good model overall, um, but it does take losses. Like this one right here, I don't have any filters on this, so this one right here, I mean, this is a very tiny FVG, so this is something that probably would have got filtered out in our filters. The larger FVGs, like regular size FVGs are, in my opinion, the best ones to be trading. So like this is a normal sized FVG. It's not too small, not too large. This is a very large FVG. So if you break this, then you're entering up here. Your stop loss is all the way down here. So one, that's not really good RR, and two, that's a lot of room to work with. It might want to come back down, fill in some imbalances, stuff like that, and you could honestly get a better entry. But I've seen sometimes it breaks this FVG, closes, literally maybe 5 seconds later can pop right up and then take out your TPs, right? So, I mean, any sort of model with trading, it's hard to just get it perfect every time. You're not going to get it perfect every time. But IFVGs are definitely one of the better models for NASDAQ, in my opinion. CRT, I honestly don't like as much for NQ trading. So this is definitely one of the better models, and we'll hopefully be able to code this in and get this out. Because it would be awesome if this could just pass funded accounts for you, and you not have to really worry about anything, and just pass funded accounts, gets payouts every month. That would be awesome. So it's something that we are working on. We're trying to implement SMT right now, so we'll start getting that hopefully done soon and have this out. And we wanna run this at least 2 months where it passes at least like 50% of the funded accounts, because we're running it on different time frames too, to just play around with it. We want at least like 2 months worth of data where it like passes like 50% of the funded accounts, or gets payouts on half of the accounts that we might have. Even if it fails the other half, I would still be very happy with that result. So we'll see where it goes. So I'll catch you next time.